There's stuff here for everyone. Like, if you're a horror fan, there's big monsters trying to kill people. If you're a romance fan, the whole thing's a romance story. If you're a comedy fan, there's comedy story. Whatever you're into, it's great, but it's also, this works for the whole family.
I love his peppy narration. Most post-apocalyptic movies, it's like, we're in a world of dust and hate, and there's cannibals, and nothing's left. And then this one, he's like, hey guys, like, the world's on fire, this guy got ate by a goldfish, and like, it's terrible. Like, I really liked how nice and peppy the opening narration was, because it's so much different from most post-apocalyptic movies.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of Flixwatcher podcast. Today I'm joined by Mark.
Hello.
And Jay.
Hello.
And Helen.
Hi.
And we're going to be talking love and monsters. Thank you as always to the mighty people for their mighty tunes, and thanks to Ben from Rockwood Audio for editing this podcast and all of our episodes. Please do remember to head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Pocket Casts and go there and give us a 5-star glowing review and rating. And join the conversation with us on Twitter, also Instagram, TikTok and Blue Sky.
Hello film fans, welcome to this episode of Flixwatcher podcast. Our guests today are Mark and Jay. Over to you please, Jay, to say hello to our listeners and tell them a little bit more about who you are and what you do, please.
Well, hello to your listeners, thank you for having us. I am Jay, I am one of the hosts of Deep Blue Sea, the podcast, which does exactly what it says in the tin. It's a podcast all about, or started being all about Deep Blue Sea, the Rennie Harlin's 1999 shark-infested masterpiece that Mark and I love and adore. We started out doing it chapter by chapter. There's 33 chapters in the film, so we just did an episode dedicated to each one. And then we thought, hey, they'd made 2 more of these films, went straight to DVD, so we did Deep Blue Sea 2 and 3 as well. And that was 4 or 5 years ago, and we just kind of kept doing Deep Blue Sea adjacent films. We kind of spun off and did Con Air, a whole series on Con Air, at the end of which we thought, we just want to talk about Deep Blue Sea again. So we're talking about Deep Blue Sea again. We're going through Scene by Scene again because we couldn't think of anything better to do, and we love it.
Sorry, what's the connection between Con Air and Deep Blue Sea?
No connection.
Okay, sure.
They are films we like.
I was like, it's not the same director. I can't think of any of the cast that's crossover.
Nope. They're just both awesome.
I think it's the same composer, maybe. But no, there's very little connection. We just wanted to talk about Con Air, and then we did 40 episodes on Con Air and thought that was too many. Let's go back to sharks and talk about that. And we love that. So any like films connected to Deep Blue Sea, like shark movies, or we've done almost all of Rennie Harlin's films at this point. We just love talking about creature features, which I think is going to come up today, probably.
I think How Did This Get Made did an episode of Con Air.
Yes, they did. And Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Those guys cracked me up. But one thing that made me laugh the most and still kind of lived rent-free in my head is when they're talking about Danny Trejo's character in Con Air, and he got put away in prison for being a rapist.
Sure. Johnny
and as
23.
soon as he comes out, I'm going to rape people, guys.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how...
he was not rehabilitated, I think.
No.
The prison system fails Johnny 23.
Maybe he should go and live in some shark-infested waters instead.
Well, he gets eaten in Anaconda.
And I'm an adult, and I understand everyone has different viewpoints, and I'm really chill when it comes to movies, because I love them all. But when, like, Honest Trailers or How Did This Get Made do episodes on Deep Blue Sea, I'm like, no. No. But I get it. We're all different. But whenever people start talking about Deep Blue Sea, I'm like, stop. All right, y'all.
Yeah, this is my
You feel protected like it's your child.
Yes, exactly.
And that was the voice of Mark. Mark, do you want to say anything else?
Yeah, hey, my name is Mark Hoffmeyer. When I'm not genetically modifying super sharks, I write. So I've written for cool places like Rotten Tomatoes, Cracked, The Ringer, Film Theory, Game Theory, Food Theory, Style Theory, Fandom. I had a show called By the Numbers. And I also have a podcast called Movies, Films, and Flicks. And then I co-host Deep Blue Sea, the podcast with Jay. And I love it.
Lovely. At the time, when podcasts first started taking off with film and TV, there were a few podcasts which were like scene by scene, or like minute by minute.
Yeah, Star Wars Minute.
Yeah, that
was kicked off the cult, I think. I've been a fan since like day one of them, and I've listened to all of Star Wars, Indiana Jones, good. Like there's a whole hundreds of them. And that's kind of where we got the inspiration for doing Deep Blue Sea, Scene by Scene. We've had a bunch of the people of other MXM hosts on the show. There's a lot out there.
And then also you have the worst idea of all time where the guys watch the same film, like Cats, every day for like a year. And
yeah,
like,
they did Grown Ups 2, I think they did. Paul Blart Mall Cop, I want to say they did. Yeah, they did that. Good for them, I guess.
We had an episode on Cats, and it was like the people that chose it, both chose Tom Hooper musical. So one person chose Les Mis, the other person chose Cats. And Cats came away with a higher score, which is something I never thought would happen, but also it made sense in that recording element, if I remember rightly. It was just like, Cats is just a bit more fun in a way. And I love the music from Les Mis. I literally was my Spotify like Wrapped when that film came out that year. But the film was just like, I don't get it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I may have like awarded Cats more than it was probably worth, because I do love Cats. Even
you mean the animal rather than the film?
Yeah, but like,
Cats are the best.
When do they get to be the stars of the film? And I'd never seen Les Mis before, and it was a bit of a slog.
I mean, that Les Mis soundtrack is still my go-to. If I'm stuck at work late, that's what I'll put on. Like the start, like, look down, you're standing in your grave. Yes, I'm chained to my desk at work. This is how I feel.
24601.
Exactly. But like Cat, it is a bit of a bummer to sit through some of Les Mis. Like, watching Anne Hathaway's got to shave her head and have her teeth pulled out again. It's just very rewatchable.
They need to swap the cast, because I want Russell Crowe as a cat.
Who is James Corden playing in Les Mis?
Russell Crowe.
No, James Corden he'd want to play
Thénardier, maybe Master of the House.
Yeah, Master of the House. Yeah, that's who he'd want to play. But I'd have him. I think he should play Gavroche, but like shrunk down. Anyways, we're here talking about Love and Monsters, which is your choice of film, Mark. Can you tell us why you chose it, and then you have 60 seconds to give us a synopsis.
All right, so why I chose it is during the pandemic, you know, you're just sort of locked up. It was just such an odd time. My wife and I were looking for something to watch. Love and Monsters. I heard good reviews. I didn't go to the theaters to see it. We just weren't there yet. So I just bought it for like $25. We put it on. And it's just such a nice movie. And it's just a nice creature feature about a nice kid walking 80 some miles to go see a lady. And it was just so amiable. You know, I'm a big fan of Dylan O'Brien. He suffered that head injury in 2016 while working on the Maze Runner movie. So I was so happy to see him back. And I just really, it's kind of crazy that during the pandemic, I was watching post-apocalyptic movies, but it's just so nice that I loved it. And it's just been a movie that I've admired ever since.
Okay, 60-second timer starts now.
A good kid named Joel travels 85 miles across a monster-ridden post-apocalyptic world to get to his girlfriend. Along the way, he meets a cool dog, a friendly robot, and learns many valuable life lessons. And there's a great scene with a grenade.
Love it.
Yep.
17 seconds
Short
there for
and
the synopsis. Not wasting your time. Jay, had you seen this film? Had you heard of this film?
I had seen it once before. I think I saw it based on Mark's recommendation.
Right.
Because it came out around when we started doing the podcast. I really enjoyed it then, and I was happy to watch it again, and I really enjoyed it again. It's a kind of coming-of-age creature feature road comedy. I love all of that. That's great. You're just watching Dylan O'Brien fighting monsters, and then Michael Rooker shows up with a kid, and they're having fun with them. And then there's a giant crab at the end. I love all kinds of creature features. I love giant monsters. I love when you have like creative creature design, and that's what you have here. You have these things started out like little bugs and crabs and things. Let's make them huge and make them way more disgusting and have them like hallucinogenic leeches. Great. I'm all for. I love all of this stuff. It's great, and it's got a dog in it. I love any film with a dog in it. I'm currently in a living situation where I'm like away from my dogs, and it just made me miss my dogs a little bit. This film, because they're like Boy in this film, where they're anyone's. They'll walk up to anyone, just lick their face, and they'll move off with them. That's my dogs.
Did anyone else get like Curly Sue vibes with Michael Rooker and that kid? I don't know, that's a pull back to an early 90s film with a Belushi and someone else.
With a Belushi.
They need their own movie, those two.
Yeah.
I love that team. I love adventure movies or movies like this because I feel like every 15 minutes you run into somebody new. And I like all the people that he runs into. I like Minnow and Clyde. I like the robot. I like everybody he comes across. Not the Chumbler, though. Not the Chumbler. But I dig that. Yeah, and I love Michael Rooker. He's so good in this movie.
What about you, Helen? Had you heard of this before? Had you seen this before?
Yes, I'd seen this before. I think pretty much like everyone, you ended up watching everything that you could on Netflix, and this was one that I was doing the rounds of recommendations. And yeah, it's like super sweet, super inoffensive. Agree with like everything you've said, and also it puts like an Australian as villain, which is I just find that really really funny. It's got really good dog acting. And yeah, I kind of felt that maybe there could have been a sequel on it. There kind of feels like there's maybe a little bit more of a second kind of story of like living on the surface and a bit more adventures like that. But yeah, it's like an hour and 49 minutes. And yeah, the creature design is really nice and thoughtful and not just like a horrible CGI mess. So yeah, super sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure I heard about it when it first came out and never got around to it. And it's nice, it's fun, it's good. A few plot holes, but you're like, this is not that kind of film. It doesn't really matter. You could tell what was going to happen right from the start of the film, and it did. My main slight foible, nitpick, was that it almost seemed a bit too easy for him to get to his girlfriend. I was like, it didn't feel like 7 days. It's like, how long is it going to take for me to get there? 7 days, 85 miles. I was like, well, this is going to be a bit of a slog. But it seemed like to go, he met Michael Rooker and Ariel Greenblatt, and then the robot, and then he was there. And it's like, hold on, I don't get a sense of like the danger really that he had. He had to run away from that thing with threw a grenade in, which is, like I said, that was an awesome bit.
So are you saying that you would have preferred The Revenant?
Oh, God.
Am I saying I prefer
or The Road?
Revenant?
No, I'm joking.
Not The Road.
What's the film I'm thinking? The film made based on the book, The Body.
Stand By Me.
Yeah, that's the one. So they had the leeches bit. I was like,
Yeah.
And then he met Jessica Henwick, who's one of my favourite people. Like, generally, I think she's been hard done by on everything she's been in. Game of Thrones, not really noticed, had a good role in that. She was in Iron Fist, which is the worst of the Marvel TV series, and she's the best thing in that. And every time I see her, I'm just like, this is cool. And she's okay-ish in this film, but I think there should be more for her, I think, going forward.
I just fast-forwarded Iron Fist to like her parts, and then I was like, I'm tired of this, so I just watched the last episode of it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with Iron Fist. So yeah.
You did it well. You won the Iron Fist cheat code.
I never even started Iron Fist. So Jessica Henwick, she's not someone that I'm that familiar with. Like, I've seen a bunch of stuff she's in, but I only kind of recognise her from Glass Onion. I love the Benoit Blanc films. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I knew there was another one that she'd been in. I was like, yeah, she's kind of that kind of phase where she's like, oh, it's her again-ish. And yeah. But I think there will be a stage where she gets like a really cool film, because she's really good action fights. It's just really good action, and I think there'll be a film. I hope there'll be a film. Maybe she pairs in with John Wick or something like that, and John Wick 5, and she just like blasts out in an amazing scene, in an amazing film like that.
Timo Gianto, the guy who did Night Comes For Us and Nobody 2 and Shadow Strays, he's a big fan of hers. And those are Netflix movies, two of those are Netflix movies. So I would love to see Timo teaming up with Jessica to make an awesome action film, because she can carry it. She'd be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, this movie, $30 million. Like, it got nominated for Best Visual Effects at the Academy Awards.
I did it.
I would love to see it get a sequel, because, I mean, it was made intelligently. It's super friendly. And, you know, I think a lot of people like it. So I think a sequel, I mean, if you make it again for 30 mil, that's going to make money. Like, even if you make it 50 mil, I think that'll pull the bucks in. So I would absolutely love a sequel.
Yeah, this was a victim of the pandemic.
Yeah. Like
a lot of other films. I don't think it even got released in cinemas in the UK.
No,
just went straight to Netflix.
Yeah. One thing I really liked about it was, at the start, you almost think there's some animosity between his group, where he's like the one that he just can't really help himself. They're almost like to baby him. But then when he turns over that map, when I was like, hold on, you must have turned over the map at some other point, on your journey anyway.
It's one of your plot holes.
Yeah. And he turns over the map and they're like, oh my God, these guys actually love me. I need to get back.
That got me.
In 7 days, that takes 2 seconds.
They're pretty terrible to him, though, in the beginning. He's been with them for 7 years. So one of my talking points was like, when he's there, they're like, we can't believe you made it. And then he's like, you treat me like a little pathetic hedgehog.
With reason, though, because he would have died many times.
He fell in a hole.
But, like, he cleans the house. He does the food, the radio. Like, but you know what's crazy? He learns more about life in 2 days with Michael Rooker than he does with 7 years with this entire group. And I feel like he kind of regressed in that bunker a little bit, because, like, they were just like, you freeze. And they're, like, real blunt with him. But he's, like, a good kid. I'm like, yo, let Joel be. So they were just kind of super rude to the guy. I know they loved him, but I don't know, like, all the time when he talks, my biggest flaw with this movie, I think, watching it again, is, like, he's like, I love these guys, they're my family, but they're really just kind of jerks to him until they write something on the back of the map. And you're like, I don't know, like, he has the cow, the radio, like, he's like their weaponer. He does a lot of stuff in this place, and then they're just like, you're gonna die. Like, you can't do it. You can't handle it. You're a liability. You're unsafe. The more you tell people that, the more they believe it. So maybe they were just really, like, terrible to him, and he started believing it. And plus, he saw his parents get smushed.
Yeah, all that trauma he's been carrying around for 7 years. It took some hallucinogenic slugs and a stranger to help him out.
That's right.
But
everyone needs that, by the way.
He is terrible. Because he falls in a hole. He's in a world where there's giant monsters trying to kill him, and he's walking and writing at the same time.
Yeah.
And he falls in a hole. If he should have died, he should have died. Like, he should not have survived the film. I'm sorry.
I've rolled
there's people who read books when they're walking down the street. It's like, no, you deserve to fall down a hole.
Exactly.
I feel bad, but they had it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're following this character, right? Because in theory, there's a bunch of these guys who are the weak links from a fighting point of view, and they're all dead. But he's the one that made it, so that's why we're following his story, right? That's the way I rationalize sometimes these things. It's like, we can't follow the other guys because they are dead. But the giant snail thing just got crushed by the giant snail.
And if we're watching like Bear Grylls, it's boring. But if we're watching just a kid who's been living in a bunker for 7 years on a fool's errand on the wings of love, like, it's going to be more entertaining. So I love and also too, I love his peppy narration in the beginning, because most post-apocalyptic movies, it's like, we're in a world of dust and hate, and there's cannibals, and like, nothing's left. The world's on fire. And then this one, he's like, hey guys, like, the world's on fire. This guy got eaten by a goldfish, and like, it's terrible. But, like, I really liked how nice the peppy the opening narration was, because it's so much different from most post-apocalyptic movies.
Yeah.
I dug that a lot. And I think it sets the tone really well.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, I can't remember. I was trying to think what the music was, but it was like 95% of the people are dead. My roommate's having sex all the time with the door open really loudly, and I can't have any fun because no one likes me that much. And you're kind of like, is this the tone? What's going on?
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, can you close the door? Like, your door's open. They're like, yeah, we do. Guys, you're terrible.
You can't join in, but you can watch.
Yeah, like, you're terrible bunker mates. And he's like vacuuming under their feet, and they won't move. Joel had a bad 7 years in this bunker.
Mm-hmm.
I love what you said about Fool's Errand there, because he'd not seen his then girlfriend for 7 years, and everyone else was thinking she's moved on, mate, generally. But he still did it. That's the love in Love and Monsters, isn't it? That's the love that he went to go and find, but also then quickly thought, oh no, I shouldn't be here, and I'll go back to the people. So he quickly changed his mind. 2 weeks, traveling 2 weeks to get there and back to the people who have sex with the door open.
But they're my family.
And the cow.
Like, yeah. And yeah, she's like, nah, I moved on. But like, I was reading online in comment sections where a lot of people were annoyed that she was kind of like, I've moved on, and like, she kisses him at the end and he leaves, but they don't end the film together. But I don't think that's what the film is about, because like, when he's with Rooker drops some truth bombs on him. He's like, listen, man, good instincts are earned by making mistakes. If you're lucky to survive a few mistakes, you're going to be okay. And he talks about, like, he's just learning, and he learned valuable lessons along the way. He makes mistakes. And so, like, he grows up on the trip, sees her. And I like when he says, like, hey, he knows it's insane. Everyone tells him it's insane. And then he's like, yeah, I probably should have told you I was coming. And like, my bad. Then he's like, okay, well, I got to go back to my crew because I got to see that through. So it was an interesting journey that he made. And I think some people were annoyed, but that's not the point of the movie. It's more like, make some mistakes, learn from them. Like,
grow as a person, maybe not in other ways.
Yeah, and don't fall in pits while drawing.
Anything else, Helen, do you want to add before we head to the scores?
Well, we talked a little bit of the cast, but also we had as Ariana Greenback, who is in Barbie.
Yeah.
She is Gloria's daughter in Barbie as well. And I really like that character. It's really kind of like that old person in a young body kind of vibe. And I always felt a little bit sad when they depart. You kind of like half hope that their paths would come back together, because they were just kind of two of those characters that I think really made it. And had he not kind of had them on the way, it probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as entertaining at all.
Yeah, he'd have been done. Those chumblers would have got him. Or whatever they are. They have a nice relationship. I like Minnow and him.
I'm trying to think, is this the first time we've had Michael Rooker play a lawful good character almost? Because normally there's always like an edge of like malice to him, isn't there? Right?
Cliffhanger, he's good.
Sure, yes, Cliffhanger, good, great.
He's a good guy in Cliffhanger.
I was trying to get past Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, which he's not a good guy.
Not Slither.
Bad guy. JFK? Is he one of the good guys in JFK?
Maybe.
Is this like one of the... I don't know, there's too many people, I can't remember.
I have a question, though, for you guys.
Sure.
About Michael Rooker. So I was wondering, like, okay, you're on this mission, and you are wandering around a post-apocalyptic movie, and you have to run into one actor that you think would keep you safe on your journey. Because I think Michael Rooker would keep me safe. Everything he does in this movie, I'm like, you'd protect me, Rooker. So who's an actor you would pick to keep you safe if you were on a post-apocalyptic journey?
I'm going to go for, and my mind's gone blank here, your man who played in Facebook.
Jesse Eisenberg?
Why can't I think,
no.
Yeah.
Because of his character in Zombieland, the way he thought...
Oh, okay.
Because of the way he thought about...
Not because of his programming skills for social media.
Yeah, because I'm picking that character, Jesse Eisenberg's character. Is it Tallahassee, was it? I can't remember exactly.
He is...
Columbus.
Yes, Columbus.
Yes, Columbus. I would have chosen it because I like the way... That's one of my favourite... Again, talking post-apocalyptic, in terms of the setup of a film and the premise and how you survive. He had like a good set of rules that make it make sense. So he wasn't like ever the strongest guy, but he knew how to keep himself safe because he wasn't a dummy. So he could impart his wisdom with other people. Although Michael Rooker probably didn't need that because Michael Rooker probably had that kind of just inbuilt into his head. But at least they would be like on the same page. Like, yeah, there's holes there. Let's not go there because we'll fall into a hole.
Oh, that's a great pull. Like, don't go into the bathroom alone. You know, don't lock yourself in.
The double tap, I always think about that. Whenever I see it in like a zombie film, if they don't do a double tap, I'm like, dude, you don't know. You've not seen Zombieland.
Oh, I like that. What about y'all? Everybody else?
It feels obvious because of our podcast, but I've got to go LL Cool J. Just because of his track record for surviving movies.
Yeah.
His character
SWAT.
always survives films. He will not die in a film.
Yeah.
SWAT.
So I feel like
He's
he'd be
quite
good
SWAT,
at...
wasn't he?
He's great in SWAT, Deep Blue Sea, Halloween H2O, and Mindhunters. He survives these films where everyone else dies. Lots of other people die. Spoilers for H2O and Mindhunters. Apologies.
I think with Halloween H2O, you kind of know people are going to die. I think that's not...
Yeah,
but spoilers that he doesn't, I guess.
Okay.
I guess I'm picking him because he's good at surviving, but not everyone around him survives. This might be a bad idea.
You're putting yourself in danger.
That's how he lives. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to bounce off of him and hit me. So this is a bad choice, but I've stuck with it. It's the choice I've made.
I love it.
Yeah, so this is a really good question. I think I'm going to go with Jim from 28 Days Later.
I thought you said Jim from The Office. Go ahead.
That famous apocalyptic moment. Yes, for lots of reasons, mainly zombie skills.
Is that Cillian Murphy's character, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, I genuinely thought I had no idea what his name was. Okay, yeah.
Ooh, Naomi Harris would be great, too, from that. Because she's a monster, and I love her in that movie. That's a great pull.
Yeah, they both really come into their end in kind of like the last, 20 minutes or so with machetes and things. So I feel like you'd be in safe hands.
Yeah, Jim goes from kind of chill to full-on maniac, and I love it. That's a great pull. And he pulls off comfy sweaters well, which is nice at the end.
Okay, what about yourself, Mark?
Oh, okay. So there was Michael Rooker, but I guess who would I pick? Who would be a fun hang that would also keep me alive? Okay. I just want to hang out with Bruce Campbell. Like, nothing can kill him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Bruce Campbell from all the Evil Dead movies. He lives out in the woods anyways. And I would just bother him, asking him questions about movies all day.
He'd have so many stories.
Yeah.
so much.
You know what? Bruce Campbell. And I would just annoy him. And I feel like he would keep me. Or Tom Hanks. He's been cast away already. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Should we head to the scores, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm Sam Clements, host of the 90 Minutes or Less Film Festival, another podcast in the Stripped Media family, a podcast that celebrates movies under 90 minutes long. Each episode, I'm joined by a special guest who selects a movie to join our prestigious lineup. Past guests have included fellow Stripped Media family members Martin and Sam from Song by Song, and Kobe from Flixwatcher, and Dave from The Wire Stripped. Search for us now on the app you're currently listening to this podcast, or join us at 90minfilmfest.com.
Welcome to the Flixwatcher scores. They are always out of 5. If you wish, you can have decimal places, but we will start with you, please, Mark, with your recommendability.
So recommendability, I'm going to go with 5 because this isn't a Park Chan-wook Thirst. This isn't Martyrs. This isn't a movie that will infuriate people. There's really nothing to annoy people, I guess. It's just a really pleasant film. So if I'm chatting with somebody and they're like, yeah, I haven't seen Love and Monsters, I'll be like, watch it. It's fun. Like, you'll have a good time. It won't change your life. I mean, very few movies change your life. It's a horrible barometer for movies. Like, if it changes your life. I don't like, it's not great. Like, well, yeah, most movies aren't great. But it's good. And it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I give it a 5 on recommendability.
Jay?
I gave it a 5 as well for much the same reason. But I feel like there's stuff here for everyone. Like, if you're a horror fan, there's big monsters trying to kill people. If you're a romance fan, the whole thing's a romance story. If you're a comedy fan, there's comedy story. There's whatever you're into, it's great, but it's also, this works for the whole family. Like Mark said, it's not Martyrs. We'll never come on here to talk about Martyrs. But it's so kids can watch this because everything kind of works out fine. The bad guys get eaten, the good guys don't. That's how the film plays out. So it's just a good time.
Helen?
Yeah, I feel like this film is for people who maybe watched like Tremors as a child and now they're an adult and they...
Michael Rooker was in Tremors. I think that's one thing I was trying to think.
There we go, there's the connection. Big worms, that kind of thing. And if you also kind of like Stand By Me, and it feels like very much that kind of like crossover. It's super sweet. It won't change your life. I don't think it will be for everyone in that it is a bit basic, and Kobe's kind of touched on the plot holes that there's not that much peril in it, which is good to have a little bit of peril in a monster film. So I'm going to give it a good solid 4.
I'm going to go 4.2. I wasn't expecting anything from this. And by the title alone, I was like, really? Like, I just literally would have forgotten it from
Thanks,
the coming
Mark.
out during the pandemic. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's fun. It sounds kind of terrible. It's quite a nice film to be like on the sofa, but also like half doing other stuff.
Yeah. In and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of film where when I was making the Lego that's on my shelf, I was like, oh, we're going to sit down with some films and make the Lego. But it was actually really difficult to do with some films because you want to pay attention, but also you have to pay attention because if you put a little bit of Lego in the wrong place, you're fucked. But this is the kind of film where you can just like and have it on the background, but still enjoy and understand everything that's going on. Repeat viewing score. Mark, you've seen this a few times. What is your score?
3, because I can't stand his bunker mates. I can't stand them. Every time I'm like, these guys are terrible. Yeah, and I think, once you're on the journey, you kind of know how it goes. I don't think this is a movie I'll pop on every year or every few months just to watch. If it's on, I'll watch it. But yeah, I'll give it a 3. I really enjoyed the rewatch, and I found new things to like, and I actually found more depth in it this time with what Ricker had to say. But yeah, I'll give it a 3.
Jay?
I give it a 2.5. Like, I hadn't seen it again since my first viewing. I hadn't felt compelled to I must watch that again. But I'm glad I did. So giving it 5 years between viewings seems to work. I didn't remember every scene. I enjoyed revisiting them.
Helen?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 as well. I mean, I had watched it. My memory of what actually happened was a little bit hazy, so I very much needed to watch it again. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to watch it loads, but if someone was like, I've never seen it and I want to watch it, I would sit there and watch it with them again. It's an easy watch and it's not very long.
Yeah, I'm going 2.5. I can't think of when I'm going to think let's put it on, but if I walked into the lounge, my wife was watching it, I'd be like, yeah, I'll stay for a bit and have some popcorn with you. A small screen score. Mark?
I'm just giving it a 5 because if I watched this on an airplane, I would be so happy. Like, when you scroll through movies and you're like, I haven't watched that. Oh, Love and Monsters, I'll watch it. And then you watch it on your flight to Colorado and you're like, that was cool. Like, I didn't watch it. I enjoyed that. That was a good airplane movie. So I think it's a really good airplane movie, which means it's a good small screen movie, which means I give it a 5.
Do you have I've got, obviously this is kind of a leading question, but in terms of plane movies, do you have like a hierarchy of what you choose and how you choose them?
I just live on the edge. I just go through it. I never have a plan. I watch Red Rooms on a plane. So if a movie looks really good, I don't know if I want to watch it on a plane because Interstellar on a plane just doesn't seem great to me, right?
No.
Like, you want to be in the world, or watching Mandy on a plane doesn't seem good. So I typically try to hunt down smaller indies that I haven't watched yet. Like, they have some cool Bleecker Street stuff on planes now. In Delta, they got some cool movies. So I'll try to hunt down some smaller films I haven't watched yet. That's kind of my thing. Or it's just Minions because my daughter loves Minions.
My wife watched The Wolf of Wall Street for the first time on the plane. I was like, why are you doing that exactly?
Yeah, anything that people behind me are like, what is this dude watching? So yeah, I try to find like little indies or something I haven't caught that look good on I can watch on a small screen.
Jay, Helen, do you have any plane theories?
Yeah, so for me, what I do is it always ends up being like the films on Mubi that I want to watch, but I just like 2 hours foreign language, black and white. Like, I don't know.
You've downloaded it to your iPad, is that what you're saying? Kind of thing.
Yep. And then like there's no distractions, like
Yeah.
You're a captive
know the
audience.
flight time and can watch it and hope there's no small children nearby in case it's a weird one. But yeah, I lock in those Mubi films that
Yes.
a good 2 hours, subtitles, so that I can't be on my phone. I've got to be locked in. And usually they're not going to be like big special effects blockbusters. So the small screen is good. So that's where I'll be in a flight, is a foreign language film, most likely.
Like, give me Bird, give me Bring Them Down, give me Fallen Leaves on a plane, Monster. Like, those are great plane movies. Because, that's a good point.
What about yourself, Jay?
I think I go easy watching. Go like no
Margers.
massive budget, like you know, not like just a small comedy or like a Love and Monsters is perfect for this because it's like, you know, I get sleepy on planes sometimes. If I like drift in and out, that's fine. If someone comes and brings me my food halfway through the film, that's fine. I watched The Babadook on a plane. The only time I've seen The Babadook, the worst kind of film to watch on a plane. You don't get any of the atmosphere. You don't get any. I couldn't tell you what happens in it. I
Just
don't
keep
know.
it in the...
So yeah, you need something where the atmosphere of the plane isn't going to affect your viewing. So steer away from horror, steer away from anything like that. No, not going to work. But I think Helen's idea of like foreign films that you haven't got around to is perfect because you're locked in. You're a captive audience. You can't go anywhere. So that's next time on a plane. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to yes and that. So for me, it'd be a low-budget indie film, which I've wanted to watch for a while, and I've downloaded it. Could be foreign language. Perfect. That would be the first film. But like yourself, Mark, I'm a bit of a sleeper on the plane. So Love and Monsters would be the second film, where I'd be happy to put it on, and if I fall asleep, that's fine. I'm just happily, that's no worries at all. I'll pick it up later on. And that's the kind of good plane fodder, but easy to duck in and out of.
I admire y'all. I can't sleep on planes. One time I flew to Tokyo, and the 3 movies playing were Jane Austen's Book Club, the Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium, and something else. And I was in a bulkhead.
Is this when you had to watch what was on?
Yeah. So this was like 2008. And
yeah,
so
that's right,
I was on a flight to Japan because I was going to live in Korea for a while. And without sleeping, and I was like on antibiotics because I had strep throat like the week prior. I didn't give it to anybody. But like I was just kind of sick, kind of feeling weird, really jet lagged, couldn't sleep, in a zombified state, just watching Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium for like the 3rd time. And I'm like, what is going on with my life? You know, like what is happening? So yeah, that was a crazy plane ride. Just wanted to share that.
Watching Jason Bateman learn to stop having a stick up his butt again and again and again. It's on a loop.
Your small screen score, Jay.
I'm going to give it a 4. I think a perfect plane film. I did watch the last half hour of this on a phone. I'm sorry. It's just how my time worked out for this. And I did feel like that affected the viewing experience a little bit because there is a lot of detail on the screen in the monsters that I feel like I missed out on by shrinking it down to 1/16 of the size of the screen I was watching beforehand. So yeah, it works on a medium-sized screen, but not a teeny tiny screen.
Helen.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5. I probably would not have wanted to go and see this at the cinema. I probably would have gone, not sure about that for me. So yeah, I think it works on the TV. It's got good kind of like vibes to watch at home. So yeah, a 5.
Yeah, I'm going to 5 as well. I wasn't blown away by the creature. I mean, they looked very CGI, but also looked like intricate. So I don't think I would have benefited from seeing it on a bigger screen. The soundscape and the music wasn't that great. And I was happily watching it by myself, like doom scrolling all the social media that I'm on. So perfect for being at home. Engagement score. I think I'm maybe
You prefaced that one.
Yeah. Engagement score, Mark.
I talk a lot, so I'll just say 2. You can go in and out on it. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. Like, this isn't a Scott Adkins movie where it's on and I'm like, yes, Scott Adkins kicking people. Like, I'm in. I'm in. You know, this isn't like Portrait of a Lady on Fire where you got to get into the vibe and like it.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous film and you got to immerse yourself in it. Like, just 2.
Jay.
I agree. Yeah, 2. It's very episodic. And I feel like if you miss one of the chapters, you're still going to get what's going on. You see the start, you see the end, it's monsters, you get it. You get the gist.
You'd probably like, how did he survive if you missed the bit where he meets Michael Rooker and
Yes.
Minnow? You'd be like, wait, what? But yeah, so 2 for you. Helen?
I mean, even for me, it's a 3. I think like you can give it a bit more attention than that. Yeah, it's just maybe a tad predictable, but it's fine. A 3, a nice, easy 3.
I'm going in the middle. 2.5. Fine. I could have done this whilst doing my taxes or Lego. So that gives us an overall score of, and it's lost points in the engagement and the repeat viewing, 3.61875. Started high with recommendability. Very high small screen score, but yeah, those 2
3.61 is still pretty high.
Yeah.
It's decent.
Yeah, I'll do.
That feels good. I mean, because it's not swinging for the fences, but as for a $30 million movie, it looks great. And I don't want to seem like I'm knocking on it with that too. I love it and I recommended it, but you know.
Well, it's how the film is. That's what it needs to be. So, Jay, Mark, can you sign off and tell everyone where we can find you guys online, and we'll say goodbye to the listeners?
Sure. So, as we've said, our podcast is Deep Blue Sea, the podcast. You can find it everywhere podcasts can be found. If you go somewhere where you find podcasts and you can't find it, let us know, and we'll put it there, please. At Deep Blue Sea Pod is where we are on all social media. I have a personal blog, which is lifeversusfilm.com. Not a lot happens there, but if I do write anything, that's where it goes.
All right. Yeah, say all that for Deep Blue Sea, and then movies, films, and flicks that you can listen to the podcast anywhere.
Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure for me to watch this for the first time, for you guys to watch it at least a second time.
Thanks
so much for coming on.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to go for an 80-mile walk.
Enjoyed this episode of Flixwatcher podcast? Why not leave us a 5-star review on iTunes? You can also follow us at FlixWatcherPod on Twitter, and we're at FlixWatcher on Instagram. Thanks as always to the mighty people for their mighty, mighty tunes, and Rockwood Audio's editing skills. If you're looking to get your podcast edited as sweet as this, get in touch with Rockwood, ROKK Wood Audio. Tell them Flixwatcher sent you.
You just heard a Stripped Media production.